What is up, everybody? Rob here, back with another episode of Wasting Wildcards here in Malta 5. And this week I'm bringing back an old one and just seeing if it still holds up and seeing if it's something that potentially could be an okay starter deck once rotation happens. And if you couldn't tell by the pile of knights, it is Mardu Knights. So with the exception of Knight of the Ebon Legion, Corpse Knight, and some of these dual lands, most of this deck is just from Eldraine. Which means come rotation, almost all of these cards are still going to be legal in standard. And if we can fill in some of those little gaps left behind by Ravnica and M20, it still might be a decent little aggro deck to kind of start off the format. Now, a lot of people know that at the beginning of a format, people are still figuring stuff out. That's kind of the time where like mono red decks and just hyper aggressive decks kind of shine, because all the more complicated control, combo, or even mid-range decks haven't really established themselves in the metagame. So these just super quick decks just destroy people. And this is just kind of a quick idea. It's a best of one deck. I haven't built a sideboard out. I don't think in the current standard meta of Sultai Control and Sultai Ramp, this deck really will work in best of three. But if you're just trying to quickly ladder up, try to get those last few levels before September comes around, I think this might be a good deck. I haven't really played many games with it. I haven't really changed anything of this deck since like Ikoria came out. I think the only thing I've added is I've added 2 Triomes just to really fix my mana in this 3-color deck. But yeah, it is Knights. It is the Knights deck you like. I'm trying a couple different things. I have Corpse Knights in the deck because it plays really well with Worthy Knight. And if your opponent isn't killing your creatures, things can get out of hand real quick, and you can actually win without combat damage, which is rare, but it's fun when it happens. So yeah, let's see if Knights still have what it takes. What's up, everybody? Here we are with game 1, and we've got an okay hand here. It's a hand I'm going to keep because we have all 3 colors of mana. We've got 2 really powerful 2-drops and an Embercleave. And if our Stormfist Crusader stays alive, we can hopefully draw into just some more Knights. So I'm definitely going to keep this one and hope our opponent is okay, potentially against mono red, which shock is successful. I was going to say successful against my deck, which is true. Shock is successful against my deck. So let's just go. What do I want here more? So we have 3 options. 4 technically, but it's really between these 2. This will start drawing us cards. This, if it survives, will start building up our board. I think I want to start with Worthy Knight here just because if it survives, we will get more blockers, and blockers are very good against the current mono red builds because they're very creature heavy. They're not like the stuff that's been bouncing around Historic that is basically just a burn deck. So this makes me think they have either shock or the Knight. No, it's like the Knight. The Knight that pumps stuff. So if they have shock, they're probably going to want to use it now just so they get that extra point of damage in, but they didn't. So, okay, Skewer makes sense, yep. But hey, we didn't get Skewer to the face, so we can actually go Knight of the Ebon Legion here as well as Stormfist Crusader. So that's pretty good, building up our board a little bit. If stuff doesn't die, we'll give everything +1/+1 next turn, and yeah, we'll be in an okay spot. Skewer the Critics is Claim the Firstborn in just regular mono red, huh? Okay. Shit, okay. That's a lot of damage. All right. That's 6, that's 12 damage. Ooh, okay, so this is rough. I wish this drained. Gaining life would be really nice right now. All right, well, that one turn may have just completely ruined our chances of survival here, especially. All right, so let's go Corpse Knight, Inspiring Veteran, and hope they don't have a burn spell. Because if they have a burn spell, we are very, very dead. If they don't have a burn spell, and just somehow we luck out miraculously. Another Claim the Firstborn would do it too. Embercleave surely will do it. All right, so let's go. Let's block, block, block. And Embercleave? Not that we can survive past this anyway. The only removal spells we have in our deck are friggin' Murderous Riders that do 2 damage to us anyway, so things aren't looking up. One aggressive deck seems to be beating the other one pretty good right now. Okay. Infuriate. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm still alive. Have one of those. This would be good. I just can't play it yet, so maybe I want that. Nothing like a Blacklance Paragon that your opponent can just see very clearly. So luckily I've got a blocker for Torbrand. Fervent Champion is going to just... Ooh, that's a bad time. First Strike would kill Inspiring Veteran, thus making this a 3/3. Thus. Things are not looking up. Skewer. Could have just skewered my face there, buddy, but if you want to win that way, that's fine. I'm going to give that guy a nice. Why wouldn't he just skewer my face? Maybe he's trying to get his cast 45 red spells or something, just prolong the inevitable. There we go. Good game. All right. So, mono red, not a great matchup. Good amount of those cards are rotating. We don't know what mono red cards Zendikar Rising will have. So maybe All-In Knights is in fact better come rotation. Who knows? Weirdly, there's a lot of kind of archetypes that exist solely within a lot of the newer sets. There's stuff like Devotion. There's stuff like Food, Knights. That could just kind of roll into the new one. There's Adventures. I almost said Ikoria. Throne of Eldraine. Wow, my brain just... I literally said it in this video. Throne of Eldraine had a lot of just standalone, insanely powerful, like standard decks that were just taken out. It was like a block constructed deck that's insane. But we're going to keep this too, for sure. Is this the exact same hand we had last time? Except we have a Blood Crypt instead of a Sacred Foundry? That's funny. We are on the play, though. So that gives us a 1-turn head start if we are against like another mono red deck. And our opponent is mulliganing. I like that. I like when people mulligan because it gives my deck a chance. All right, so we're going to start. Just play a tapped Sacred Foundry, pass the turn. Okay, so it looks like we're up against some kind of Simic, Sultai, Bant. Probably Sultai, considering that's what 90% of the planet is playing right now. Which potentially could be okay for us. Those decks do take a little while to start kind of building up their resources. And if they just pass here with nothing, okay, we're in a pretty good spot. So, I'm actually going to play Corpse Knight here. Play tapped. That way next turn we'll play Stormfist Crusader. This will trigger, and we'll get kind of the maximum damage possible. Also, we'll be able to slap down an Embercleave pretty damn soon as well. Radiant Fountain and Uro, they are not messing around with the life gain. Which could be a problem. Which could definitely be a problem. Okay. Kind of like a Simic Adventures good stuff type deal. I got you. I feel you. Luckily, this deck does kind of have reach. Like, if they don't wipe our board, I could just keep casting stuff and it'll just keep draining things. Even if they play an Uro here, they're going to gain life. Stormfist Crusader has Menace, so I could attack, slam an Embercleave on there, start getting some Menace damage in. Menace damage. It's a good kind of damage. What was it? Fear, then Menace, and then Protection. All kinds of weird old terms that have just been co-opted. This has mill now, right? Oh yeah. That's a good thing about digital. You can put mill on old cards. You have a third Uro. That'd be a bad time if they had a third Uro. You cast like a Cultivate here, just get all the mana. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can start escaping Uros. All right, so let's see here. Okay, I can still Embercleave. I'm going to play this, get some triggers off in case they do some weird shenanigans. Yeah, it doesn't matter here. Another Corpse Knight actually might not be bad. But I'm going to start by attacking. All of that happened pretty quick, so I want to think that they don't have any kind of flash threat. Okay, now we're in a very good spot. They're not playing any sweeper colors. They're going to have to depend on their Uro and life gain here. They can't even steal that many of my creatures if they were playing something like that. Okay. So they're going to gain some life here and have a very big blocker. But I might be able to drain them out enough next turn that my attack will be lethal, which would be super sweet. Okay, so they got a bunch of big blockers. Huh. Okay. So let's start. Just play another Corpse Knight. Okay, and they concede. I guess they saw the writing on the wall there. But yeah, we could have cycled our Triome, hopefully dug into more Knights, and then basically just drained them out almost fully with just the Corpse Knight. Yeah, Uro is a scary card for us, but as long as our opponent doesn't really do anything like they did that game, a bunch of creatures is going to win. So it seems like our matchup against Simic might be okay. Obviously, being on the play helps because we can get that initial kind of momentum advantage. Whereas if they start throwing down Uros quick, we're going to be in trouble. And this is a very good draw because we actually have a turn one play. So definitely going to keep this. Probably going to start on Venerable Knight just because we don't actually have any way of getting counters or anything on Knight of the Ebon Legion anytime soon. And yeah, definitely going to keep this. Another reason why this deck is not particularly great against mono red is because I just have so many shocklands. So many shocklands. But playing the 3-color deck, that's an aggressive deck, you don't want too many tap lands. So I have those 2 Triomes in the deck really as just like an emergency, but you don't want to play it. Ideally, it's late in the game, you draw it and you can cycle it. That's a perfect world, these Triomes here. Okay, so this is Temur Yorion, or even more colors. Just a nice Yorion pile, if you will. So I'll definitely offer this trade up, get rid of any ramp, and if Venerable Knight dies, you get a benefit. I wonder with all the shakeups in Pioneer if my mono-white Knights deck in Pioneer is good again. Weirdly, my mono-white Pioneer deck was the most kind of success I had on like an F&M level. A lot of people not expecting the Knights. They could be playing a sweeper in their deck. I doubt it if they're playing Temur Elementals. So I could offer a trade here. I got a decent hand even if my Worthy Knight does die. I'm going to offer a trade here. If they want to give up their Paradise Druid for a Worthy Knight, I'll allow it. And they don't. And my Knight grows. Nice. So they're in a point here where they're going to either want to wipe the board or start doing stuff. Okay. It's 2 damage. Goodbye. Goodbye, Worthy Knight. You truly were worthy. Okay, so we're going to hurt ourselves here. We're going to kill Omnath. I always want to say Omnarth, but it is in fact Omnath. Gonna get in here. Again, no blocks, making my Knight bigger. I like it. They're dangerously close to being in an Embercleave range. We've got another removal spell. So barring a sweeper, we are in a very good spot. They've got, what is this? 6, 7 mana. So they're 1 mana off from playing Yorion. Not that the Yorion would really do anything here. They would just get another Arisen Reef trigger. Ooh, what do you do? Okay, yeah, Genesis Ultimatum, that's the thing. Oh my god, they only got 2 little dorks. Okay. Man, we lucked out. Yeah, they're going to ramp a little bit here and draw some cards, but that's fine. That could have been bad. That could have been real bad. All right, so let's just attack here. They're not dead yet. They sure are close. And both our Knights get bigger. All right, so I guess another Genesis Ultimatum could be a problem for us. Uro, okay, that's fine. You can gain a little bit of life. Got a very, very large Knight of the Ebon Legion that can get even larger. I've also got a Murderous Rider, so I'm feeling okay with our position here. Whiffing on that ultimatum was a huge help. That was a huge, huge help. No, Ugin is, in fact, quite a good answer. That sucks. Well, at least we can kill it. But now we're not in a great spot. Oy vey, okay. Keep forgetting Ugin is in this format. Keep forgetting he's in this format. An escaped Uro. Things are looking up for my opponent, that's for sure. I have a lot of mana. The things I could do with that mana, even more. Well, hey, they just milled a lot of good cards, so at least we got that going for us. Ooh. We had one chance. We had one chance. I don't think there's any way we can win here. Yeah, okay. All right, good game, good game. Got to look out for Uro. Or not Uro, Ugin. I mean Uro too. Ugin and Uro, quite good against my deck, specifically when they're combined. 2 great tastes that taste great together. All right, let's play one more game. I'm beginning to think Mardu Knights is not a great deck to play right now. Again, could maybe be okay post-rotation, but you know what's going to be here post-rotation? Uro and Ugin. So, and Cultivate. All right, so I don't want to get stuck with just a 1-drop not being able to cast my other ones. So I'm going to mulligan this. And I'll keep this, and I'll go down. I'm going to go down the Inspiring Veteran. Okay, that's a little aggressive. Very anti-red deck for a red deck. Nothing like anti-red. Play this Triome tapped. That's actually pretty good for us. Play our Knight of the Ebon Legion and attack. Well, at least 2 of their cards in their opening hand being ley lines. Not exactly leading me to think that their hand was filled with too much good stuff. 2 on first strikers, surprisingly good. Not going to block. Alrighty, so we can go Corpse Knight. Our opponent clearly has an instant. Our knight was not long for this world. So we probably want to get like a Murderous Rider online here. Not a Murderous Rider, but chances of these 2 knights growing is actually very high now, and they are very good at blocking, so that is pretty good for us, actually. 2 3s, aren't afraid of 2 1s. All right. That's a thick Annex, but gotta pass the turn here. We are super dead to an Embercleave, like just real dead to an Embercleave here. These don't have any abilities that they can pay. Okay, that's not an Embercleave. We may just make it. Oh, my own Embercleave. All right, let's do some math here. They're getting hit for 6, so it doesn't matter who I select, they're going to lose. Nice, we got there. Okay, so there's still something here. I'm not going to say it's great. It's fun. I like the synergies. I like tribal decks. You know me, I play dinosaurs, I play elves. I just play... If there's a tribe, I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to try to make Merfolk Collected Company, because that seems like a pretty easy and fun deck to make. Also seems like it has some cool kind of interactions, more so than like an Elves deck would. But yeah, Knights, like I said, a good chunk of this is going to be here. If we get a good dual land set in Zendikar, maybe it's going to be okay. We are losing Knight of the Ebon Legion, who is like by far the best 1-drop in a ton of aggro decks. But you never know what's going to happen. We got a lot of these cards here. They can be good. Maybe we can make a good sideboard, add more removal. It's 3 colors. There's a lot of flexibility to be had. Right now, probably not your best choice. I would probably be playing mono green or mono red. But yeah, you don't learn until you try. So try and try again. Thank you guys for watching. What was that?